Hello again. This is the Watering Man. I'm going to do a little addition here, and it's what they call Easter Sunday, and I'm going to just shed just a little light on it. But they put this Easter thing. It's not. It's the Passover. It's the resurrection of Jesus Christ. And is Jesus resurrecting in your heart, in your mind, in the thought processes, in that relationship builder? Are you agreeing with God so that He's coming alive in you again, making His appearance? Or are you just kind of doing your own thing and going out and buying into this mixture thing of a soulish beliefs? Remember, that double-minded stuff, the fleshly thinking, carnal-mindedness, and God. Trying to keep this majority of stuff, humanistic stuff, shoving Christ down. And saying, well, everybody does this with the bunny rabbit and all this. Let's look at that. All right, documento. Lay it out there. Prove it to yourself. I'm just going to give you a little bit of it. You could go much deep. I could make a whole series out of this very easily, but I'm not going to. Okay? Let's just go the one place that they translate it as Easter. But it's in, that word's in there in the New Testament 29 times, I think it was. We'll show you here in just a little bit. Okay? 28 times is translated as Passover. One time is translated as Easter. Same word. They're missing it. Trying to put in their own. People swallowing it like hook, line, and sinker. Doesn't even make sense. First of all, what's a bunny rabbit? Laying hard-boiled eggs and all this stuff. Don't make a lick of sense. Natural. And chocolate ones and bunny rabbits. Rabbits are known for it's kind of represented like infidelity in your mind. You're faithful to this old king thing, and it's reproducing a whole bunch of ungodliness in your mind. Instead of being, and it's the wrong king in your mind. God's the rightful king. You got this duality in here and you're choosing this guy. Oh, they got it twisted. So it's very subtle. So you say, well, it's just for little kiddies and stuff, and we're not really telling them nothing wrong. And you can go to church buildings and all this stuff, and man, we're old. Your carnal mind will twist stuff, put stuff in there when you can identify it, if God permit, agree with God, and kick it out. Jesus the Christ was the Lamb slain. Put that blood on your doorpost to get rid of this. You're agreeing with God, and it's like putting the blood of the Lamb of Christ on your heart, on your mind, on those thought processes, each little spot. God's chopping it out, skinning it out, way out. Agree with God. Don't agree with this thing, and reproduce more of this stuff. Hammer the Christ plumb out. It's insignificant as long as we got chocolate bunny eggs and all this stuff. I'm not going to go into that where they got all this about the Astarte and all that stuff. Is like a Greek goddess, I think. If I remember right, I've done studies on it before. I'm not going to go into all that right now. It's false king. Ooh, yuck. Subtle. Let's get it for right now. Okay? Now, let's look at this. Okay? Now, in Acts chapter 12, verse 4. I'm not going to read that whole thing because it's Peter in the prison and all this stuff. Okay? Just going to get right here. Just because they did translate it in the King James Version as Easter here. The only place. One time, okay? We're going to get there and show you a little bit. Lay it out there. Document it. Not that you may prove it, that you prove it. Dissect it. Prove it for yourself. Don't listen to a bunch of stuff out here and swallow it. Hook, line, and sinker. Got me. And the fish, they might not do a catch and release. Might take you up there and flay you. And eat it. Every once in a while, if I catch a fish, I might flay it a few times all year. Harvest a few of them fish and eat them. I like it. But most time I'm kind of tired and I just catch them for fun and release them. Unharmed. So, you have a good day, buddy. Carrying on. Thank you. Come back again.
God, can I have another?
Yeah. Thank you, God. May I have another? I'll do that. Catch them. Thank you, God. May I have another? Catch me about a dozen of them. No clowning around. Okay, let's get to this. In Acts chapter 12, verse 4, it says in the King James Version, it's a translation, okay? And when he had apprehended him, he put him in prison and delivered him to 4 quarterings. I'm not real sure how to pronounce it. Quaternions of soldiers to keep him, intending after Easter to bring him forth to the people. Now let's look at this. Easter, really? It's not. Let's look at this. Okay, it's just Easter. They translated it as Easter. Hang on a minute. Now, it comes from 3957. It's spelled Pascha, and it's pronounced this way. Make sure it's turned out.
Strong's G 3957.
Pascha.
Pascha.
Yeah, I think in the, I can look at it. Yeah, the pronunciation's P-A-S with that kind of apostrophe looking thing after it. Hyphen K-H-A-H. Kind of like a guttural sound thing. I'm not real good at doing that. So neuter noun. Its etymology is of Aramaic origin. It says compare 6453. Okay, we might hear in a little bit. I'm going to get this other first. It's the Paschal sacrifice. This is from the concordances and stuff, okay? And now they condense it up there in the online biblical up here. Then we got the different concordances down here and a whole bunch of stuff on this, okay? And I looked it in this big book a while ago. It's harder for me to do. I can't blow the font up, but it's exact same thing. Strong's Exhaustive Concordance. And there's a lot of page turning and stuff and trying to look at it. My eyes, I had turned the light up real bright. I did it some, but just then. I've done it before. I see better. It's a little easier, but, same thing. But then there's a lot more concordances. I can pull out books that I don't have currently right here, but I've looked at a lot of them, and different concordances and all kinds of stuff. It tells you a lot. Okay, now, so this online biblical usage, see, there's that, the Strong's, there's a whole bunch of stuff down through here. Okay, right here in the translational count, just the King James one. I'll read this first. It occurs 29 times in the New Testament. Okay? 28 times it's Passover. 1 time it's Easter. Same word now. That Pascha. However you say that. Okay? And it's the Greek lexicon. I mean, it's got a big section there. I'm not going to read all that to you right now. But look, in the Strong's number 3957, matches the Greek. I can't read the Greek, but it's Pascha. It occurs 29 times in 27 verses in the TR Greek concordance, okay? The lexicon. In the LXX Greek concordance, I can pull that up. I'm not going to right now, just by hitting there. It's pulling out another big book. Or this other one, MGNT Greek, pull that out, okay? I have all the places right here. I might read you a few of them here in a minute. Let me come back here. In the Strong's, it says the Passover, the meal, the day, the festival, the special sacrifices connected with you. Okay? Now this is speaking, this Passover, where they had to sacrifice the lamb and stuff in the Old Testament, the New Testament, the new promise, the new covenant that God is doing this relationship builder in. As remember, the Old Testament had the outer court, the holy place, and the Holy of Holies. The new covenant, or the new promise between us and God, that first 2 days, the Passover and the Passover Pentecost, the two things, the outer court and the holy place, have been combined to one place. The holy place and then the Holy of Holies. Two. The three festivals were to two. Okay? It's the Holy Spirit's baptizing us, immersing us, submerging us in here in this relationship builder, and it's copulating in fire. Copulating and accumulating in fire. Right? It's baptizing us, submerging us in that bitter vinegar solution. I don't want to do it, Daddy. Well, this is for your good. When you surrender it all, it's brought up, okay? It's kind of like the blood on the doorpost of your heart, of your mind. And the gates and everything, you're seeing, hearing, taste, touch, smell, being transformed. It's kicking out this red man thinking, ooh, yuck. And it's bringing you to these heated up places, the storms. Now, either storm, you got to make a choice. God's way, apply the blood of Christ, the sacrificial lamb, to that thought process in your mind. And in fact, in hot pursuit, everything you got, I agree with you, Daddy, not with this red Adamic thinking, not with my good and evil things. Ooh, and God will chop that stinking thinking out when you qualify and he'll bring you up. This stuff will be used as fuel. It'll bring you up higher and higher. 1 2 to 4 to 8 to 16, 32 to 6, right? Been teaching this. Right? This is showing the little practicality from a different angle. So, these feasts. Passover and the Pentecost, the thing right here is all combined. The Holy Spirit, the sanctifying, purifying Spirit's doing this, and it's bringing you up. As you greenlight God, bring you up into this love feast, the third day, where there's boom, boom, boom. God's love, chav, the incompleted love that goes beyond the mere description of words that God has for you, and he's giving you each time you're greenlighting and it's burning up that crap stuff. You're applying the blood of the Lamb. It's coming up. And when it meets God, boom, nuclear fusion inside that little spot in your mind. Remember that ball? It's like the star. The overcoming sons, children, child of God, bringing you out of this unborn state. Little tiny baby can't even speak the love of God. Bring you up, teaching you the love of God, giving it back to you, and boom, 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 bringing you out this all the way up. Each stop process, little bit by little bit, he's chopping out, scheming out, way out. It's opportunities for you. Okay? Now, hope I'm not losing nobody. I'm trying to break this down. Articulate it out. Okay? Now, now, see this Christ crucified on this stauros, this single-membered pointed stake, the cross. Not a two-membered being. It's distinguished from a two-membered being. It's a stake or a tree. Remember, I've done covered that. Where they commonly impaled them on that. I don't know if they impaled Jesus or not. Could have. And nailed him to it. Man, that'd sure make it, I'd sure speed things up, wouldn't it? Speed the torment up, but, that's something that they a common practice. That they did. Wasn't so, man, we gotta kill them in the most humane way we can. Make it as easy peasy. No, they didn't. Said Jesus suffered all things as a man. And it wasn't just this outward stuff that you see from the outside. Inside, that rejection, oh my goodness. But he paid the price for all of us so that his sacrificial blood, he was a sacrificial lamb. Christ, this is likened to Christ crucified is likened to the slain paschal lamb, this Passover. Not just mixed up stuff with saying Easter and there's Easter bunny and you better be good because that Easter bunny won't bring you no chocolate eggs or boiled eggs. Go out there and hunt for them. We don't know what God's doing, but if you hunt real hard, you'll get this stuff. Say, oh man, you're being too harsh. That's just little kid stuff. Well, if you're telling little lies to get whatever just gain, man, I'm just tickling their little fancy. We gotta keep it easy peasy. You gotta take your own temperature. Then choosing God. Tell them God's the way, the truth, and the life. Jesus, Jesus, I-E-S-O-U-S, 24:24. That means Yahweh, right now, right then. Don't elongate it in your own timing. You do it when you feel like it. We don't know how to speak in the love of God and say YHWH. So we'll just make it Jehovah and we'll say we're doing it. That might work a little bit for the beginning, but you gotta let go of that too. Surrender it all. Yes, Daddy, what do you want? It's really getting hot in here. You better choose. If you don't, it's going to double and get hotter and hotter and hotter, and pretty soon it's callousing you down, and in a way you're going to come up out of that cesspool of your own carnal mind because you're getting hammered down, and oh no, can't get that thing out. It's impaled in my hand, in my works, my efforts. Oh no, this sucks. Whoa, it's me. I didn't apply the blood of Christ to my tree. See, apply that blood of Christ to the tree. That old carnal mind tree, good and evil. Blood of Christ, agreeing wholeheartedly in hot pursuit. Well, let's read this a little bit. Trying to even show you a little bit of that more history of it. Kind of in that. See, it's like Christ is the sacrificial lamb, okay? Now, let's read a little bit here about this. I'm not going to break all this down, but a little bit. Okay? It says, all right, there's a part 1 and 2, okay? I'll read them both, okay? The paschal sacrifice, which was a custom to be offered for the people's deliverance of old from Egypt. From the Aboriginal stuff, just like that's outside, this is inside. The Aboriginal thinking. What is this Aboriginal thinking of your carnal mind? Your carnal mind, the red way, beast nature, yuck, serpent nature, subtle, more subtle and tricky than a beast in the field. Tries to think you, man, this is a lollipop. It's your adversary. It's trying to molest you secretly. Keep you entangled, burdened down in your own beast nature. Ooh, yuck. Apply the blood of the lamb to the doorpost. Let's look at this, okay? The sacrificed blood of Christ. Not just the natural stuff, but this. That God paid it. He suffered all things as a man for you. I'm going to say before the foundation, before the conception of this outward cosmos and the inward cosmos. God, because God's omniscient, omnipresent, omnipotent, and sovereign. It's like a chess move, very sound. He's like played the whole game and it's over before it even starts. God's all-knowing, omniscient. This carnal mind that's lost still, he's just taking you through the steps so you can experience this coming back to the love of him. So it's growing. Oh my goodness. You are my exceeding great reward. Woohoo! Many, many times. And it's permanently increases. What does it say in Genesis 15:1? I am the self-existing one. God is your exceeding great reward. I love you, my child. I love you too. As you're doing all this green lighting, burning up that stuff, and you come back to daddy, boom. He says, I love you more. It's exceeding. You can't get all of it. But we're going to give you more and more and more. Just keep green lighting. Habitually practicing it. Habitually practice applying this blood of Christ, okay? Now, let's look at this. And from Egypt, the type of the worldly thinking. Okay? Symbolism. Speaking spiritual in here. I'm not saying just somebody living in Egypt is all... No, they're not. I mean, this is symbolism. This is talking spiritual, okay? Like trying to find... Man, we gotta find the physical location of the Garden of Eden. An evil and adulterous generation, an age, seeks for a sign, but none will be given except the sign of Jonah the prophet. Just do it, my child. Be reasonable and see it my way. Drop this stuff, surrender it all like a bad habit. It is. No, this stuff is just like dirt on my garden. Germinate that seed and keep going so it grows and bears much good fruit. The crops are great. The increase. The only way you can do it is do it the way, the truth, and the life. Yahweh is salvation. Okay, now let's look at this. I'm not wanting to run out of time or had to make multiple recordings on this. We could go really deep with it. But I'm just going to try to get this, okay? Now, the Paschal Lamb, the Lamb of the Israelites when they came out of Egypt, right? Were accustomed to slay and eat on the 14th day of the month of, I think it's pronounced Nisan, Nisan. Okay, it's the first month of the Jewish year. Okay, in memory of the day of which their fathers, preparing to depart from Egypt, now we're departing from this stuff, kick its butt out and possess the land in its place by agreeing with God, applying the blood of the lamb, the sacrifice lamb, to this stuff, Passover lamb. Okay? Now, preparing to depart from Egypt. Appa, separate from it. Ek, come from out of it, depart from it. Ice, go to towards it into God. Go the pros way. It's to your advantage to agree with God. Go the pro way, the pra way. Pro, the superior way. Back into en and XY in God. Relying and being in union with God, right? Now, in memory of the day of their fathers, preparing to depart from Egypt, were bidden by God to slay and eat a lamb. And then it was natural. Now it's showing us. God's the same yesterday, today, and forever. I, the Lord, chose not. He's showing us. It's showing us a pattern. Now it's showing us. That's what it's doing in here. Jesus was the Lamb slain before the foundation or the conception of this cosmos, outward cosmos, and this inward cosmos. Your orderly arrangement in your mind. He's showing you this is a way to get rid of this stuff in the eye of the storm. Agree with the Lamb. Agree with God. Agree with the anointed Messiah. Chop his stuff out. Yahweh's salvation. The way, the truth, and the life. Come on. Okay? Now, trying not to run out of time here, okay? Okay, let's see, where was I at? In memory of the day when of which their fathers, preparing to depart from Egypt, were bidden by God to slay and eat the lamb, and to sprinkle their doorpost. All you're seeing, hearing, taste, touch, and smell, all those gates getting into your mind. The influence, the pressures, from its outside stuff, which is not where it's at. It's how you're doing it inside. But those pressures are applied. Sprinkle the doorpost with its blood, with the sacrificed lamb, with Christ. There is power, wonder-working power, in the blood of the Lamb. Christ died for you. No greater love has a man than to lay down his life for his neighbor, for his fellow human being. Christ came for the sin, that missing the mark of the whole world, not just part. Are you going to agree with God in those storms, each one of them? Or are you going to agree with the bunny rabbit or Santa Claus or some other stuff to keep you double-minded, mixed up? Say, oh, that ain't nothing. It's just little kiddie stuff. You going to stay a kid in your head? Or are you going to go on to perfection? Be ye perfect or complete as I am complete. Remember? Chop this stuff out. Let God's love and Him give you little bits of His racham meat. Boom! God's always got more. Okay? Now. Preparing to depart from Egypt, we're bidden by God to slay and eat a lamb, the lamb, okay, and to sprinkle their doorpost with its blood, that the destroying angel, let's chop this like the angel messenger of God, chopping this crap out, and not be destroyed in this stuff by feeding on it. And it's doubling, 1 to 2 to 4 days. Huh? Come on, man. That the destroying angels, seeing the blood, it says, might pass over their dwellings. If you're in the land of Goshen, drawing near to God, agreeing emphatically in hot pursuit of God, it's going to pass over. There's not a doubt in God. Like in the chess game, it's already done. In this whole thing, you did it before the foundation or the conception of this cosmos out here and cosmos in your head, in your mind. It's a done deal. Just work it out and be reasonable and sit my way so you can get all your inheritance. I got this great inheritance for you. Quit being in that pig pen like the prodigal son and wasting it. With riotous, stupid, being dumb butt. Wake up, you sleepers. Those that are sin and are dead in their sins and trespasses have their own carnality. It's opposed to going towards and into God's righteousness. Be reasonable. Okay? Boom, boom, boom. Okay? Now. Okay? That it passed from their dwellings. Dwelling in your mind. Okay? Know you not that you are the temple of the living God, right? That's it. Not some wooden building or something. Okay? Alright. Okay? And this is representative of Christ, the crucified Christ, who died for your sins, paid the price. You're redeemed. God is your Redeemer. Are you agreeing with God and utilizing it? Are you saying yes, sir, Daddy, emphatically? Or are you just trying to polish outside the cup, look good, and then not really doing it, changing inside? Right? Let God change my heart, oh God. Then bring, God is likened to the Paschal Lamb, the Passover Lamb. See, are you singing from the inside, from your mind? Are you changing? He's alive again. Oh, the stone's been rolled away. That old Red Dog stuff. He's alive again. See, it's trying to keep it dead, buried. No longer where he lay. He's alive again. I can hear the angels sing. Let all the earth, all your earth, rejoice, he's alive. Raise your works, your efforts up to God, not just your physical hands. Woohoo! If God be lifted up, this blood applied, he'll draw all your humanity to him. Amen. Nuclear infusion, baby. All right, I was going to read you more, but there's 29 times